From the surface of the sun, it's the 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships in Flagstaff, Arizona. Grant Zellner alongside Terry Miller. Things heating up here in Flagstaff. Not just the temperature, although it is a 20-year heat wave, I think, that they're experiencing here, but also the play on the course heating up here as we move into Friday.
Yeah, I think back to 1990 whenever we were here for the World Championships in Phoenix, and now everyone thinks, well, when you go up 2 hours north into Flagstaff, it's so much cooler. 90, 94, 95 this weekend. This is unseasonably warm, and we are feeling it.
Loving what is going on here. 880 some odd players contesting across multiple divisions. Many of those divisions still very, very tight when day 3 action yesterday got off to a very fast start in many of these divisions. We're going to start with the FP40 division. We got to get right into the highlights because we've got a lot to cover. Ohn Scoggins enters the day tied with Holly Finley, who caught up with her during round number 2. Ohn at Tuthill at hole number 1, 336-foot par 3. That's parked. No stress birdie to lead off today for Ohn Scoggins. Then ahead at the 6th, the shorty, 212 feet.
Looking for a little redemption. She had 1 bogey earlier in this tournament on that particular hole today. 2-stroke improvement.
Drop in birdie right there at the 8th. Ohn to the forehand. 300 feet. No more. Now it's just about 15. Another easy birdie for Ohn Scoggins. En route to a bogey-free 9 under par day. That's Ohn Scoggins, giving herself a little bit of a cushion before heading back here to a course where she didn't play quite as well at in round number 2.
Yeah, so if you go and talk to Ohn, I'm sure she would tell you that she loves this course. She seems to have just pretty much demolished it. The 2 rounds that she's played out here, having no problems, picking up plenty of birdies. That's been the name of the game in the the FP40 division here this week.
Holly Finley here at the 4th. A 450-foot par 4. Holly dissecting these par 4s very, very well this week, thanks to crackerjack upshots like this one right into the shadow of the basket. Ohn out to a hot start. Holly trying to keep pace. Birdies like that will help.
Yeah, and Holly really having to get something going there on 4 because she started out with a double bogey and a bogey in the first 3 holes. So putting herself at a deficit and now trying to battle back.
So the elevated pin here at the 7th, that's a birdie. And then on the 15th, a 500-foot par 4, the approach shot. Check that. This would be the drive, exquisite. Now the approach shot chopped down by a tree branch. So Holly facing a circle 2 look here. Buries that one for the birdie. As you said, Terry, overcoming a very, very slow start to finish the day, just 3 back of Ohn Scoggins, coming over here to Little America where she's very, very comfortable.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed is during round number 1, she just had a mediocre finish to the round. Well, in round 3, trying to make up for it, she finished stronger. She, however, is going to have that deficit to Ohn Scoggins, still within striking distance, though.
4 birdies in the final 6 holes there for Holly Finley. We look at the overall leaderboard, where Ohn Scoggins out to that aforementioned 3-stroke lead over Holly Finley. Stephanie Vincent still in contention. Jennifer Allen finally playing her way onto the lead card for round number 4.
Jennifer Allen's going to have to get something going. Of course, we talked earlier in the week about this possibly having some home state advantage, some of those feels and vibes. She wanted to keep the expectations low, but right now she's in catch-up mode. She's 13 behind.
Yep, everybody trying to catch Ohn Scoggins. We caught up with Ohn right after her round.
Catch up with Ohn Scoggins. Ohn, 9 down today. What felt different today's round as opposed to yesterday?
The driving was not accuracy much, and the putting was not there. Overall, it's just not too bad game, but it's not like what I expect to be better, you know. But overall, it's okay for me today. Yeah.
What adjustments you need to make tomorrow going back to Little America?
Oh man, that court got me good. So I think I just try to hit the gap and then just try to putt and make it in the most I can, because that course is so hard for me. I hit a lot of tree. My putting was not there. Overall, high elevation is messing with my putting quite a big time. And then the disc was like kind of fly different. But I'm just gonna throw and close my eye and hope for the best.
Well, a lot of golf left, and it's a tight race. So, I mean, what do you need to do over the next 2 rounds to kind of buckle down and bring this home?
You know what? That's why I like it about these two courses, because everybody can win, because I know like Holly Finlay is very good about like Thai wood course, and she throw a lot of flippy discs, and she can do very good. Tomorrow she might take it down, because she played good as long as she hit the line, and then maybe other lady can, who know, maybe shot 10 down over there and then jump. Here's the thing, it's make is very very interesting and very exciting for me, because the our score with Thai. That's I want to see, and everybody still win in this tournament.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Owen, very analytical as usual, knows exactly what it's going to take to hold this field off. She has been here before. What we haven't looked at so far this week, the FP60 division over at McPherson Park on day number 3. Pam Reinecke, Kathy Hardiman, Peggy Berry, and Andy Young started round number 3 in a 4-way tie for the lead.
Yeah, what a competitive battle. All very much veterans of the game. Kathy, I believe, as you're seeing right now, was here working at the 2005 Amateur World Championships. And I believe she was competing maybe even in the 2003 Worlds as well. Andy Young was doing double duty this week as your Hall of Fame curators and one of the assistants, or I believe she's in fact the director of our World
Correct.
Disc Golf Hall of Fame. And Peggy Berry also, who is used to playing in elevation, trying to get it done out here at McPherson.
Over the course of the day, Pam Reinecke breaks the 4-way tie, now ahead of the field by 4. Kathy Hardiman is in second place, trailing by 4, as I just mentioned. Peggy Berry 2 back of that. Andy Young 2 back of that. The lead card remains the same, but a lot of gaps now opened up. However, they move courses yet again. You can expect movement up and down this leaderboard in round 4 potentially.
Yeah, and I know I speak of redemption and coming back out to courses. Pam in round number 1 at this course had 1 birdie and 1 bogey. She comes back 48 hours later. She captures 4 birdies and 0 bogeys. So that is the big difference, the big separator from her along with the rest of the division. I'm expecting it to still be competitive throughout, but certainly a momentum shift and swing for one of my favorite O-Town gals.
There you see the top 4, as we just mentioned, and much of the rest of the field. Tita Ugaldi with her double-digit PDGA number. Nice to see Tita's name on the leaderboard. Stay with us. We'll be back with MP40 highlights of round number 3 from Flagstaff.
So no way! You talking about superhero stuff? That is a flying caveman.
Imagine, your favorite disc is unreachable. How will you recover? Have no fear. Introducing the ARM Augmented Reaching Mechanism. Providing players with over 21 feet of reach, users will face no challenge retrieving trapped discs in nearly any scenario. For further flexibility, the ARM comes with 2 grabbing devices, the pivotable rectangle and the double claw. Go to your local retailer and ask for the ARM today.
Thanks for joining us. You're with Grant Zellner and Terry Miller from Flagstaff as we now look back at round number 3 in the MP40 division. Very, very tight at the top. The division makes their way over to the Little America Long Course, taking their second loop around this course for the championship. Let's see what they did, starting with defending champion Joe Rovere. Joe Rovere played his way back onto the lead card for this round number 3. Here he is at the 6th. tasty off the tee there for Joe Rovere. It's a 659-foot par 4. Very windy. Gets the approach shot close enough for a high percentage look in the gusting winds and buries that for the birdie. One hole later, the 7th, a long par 3 at 364 feet. Joe Rovere flipping this disc over nicely, then getting it to fall out of the sky. Absolutely pins it. Little drop-in birdie there for Joe Rovere. He went 10 down on the day, bogey-free. 10 down was the hot round in round number 1. Shows you about where the high water mark is for this course at Little America.
Yeah, and I would add on to that, there are plenty of birdies that are available on this course. You have to remain bogey-free. That was the key to success. May sound all too much like a Maddenism, so to speak. Well, you don't want to get bogeys. Well, you can't afford to get bogeys out here at this Little America course because there are so many birdies, and just it feels like the scrambling is easy to do. Dave Felberg had instructed me. He said there's plenty of times you can throw an errant shot and still find a way to get up and down and save it. So we're going to move on.
Terry Miller, here's a guy who knows what he's talking about. Cale Leiviska also knows what he's doing out there on the course here at the 14th, 341-foot par 3. That's a pressure-free birdie there for Cale Leiviska. Very steady, very smooth, as his namesake, his moniker indicates. Here at the 18th, it's a par 5. It's over 1,000 feet long. It's playing as one of the most difficult holes on the course, which, of course, is very unusual for a par 5. Cale Leiviska navigating this fairway very, very nicely, but puts himself in a little bit of trouble over here. Has to play from the knee for his approach.
Looks like he's successful with it to still set him up for a birdie look, trying to close out on round number 3. Cashes it.
And there were not a lot of putts from that length or further made due to the winds. We got a chance to catch up with Cale Leiviska after his round, his 10 under par, bogey-free round to match Joe Rovere and sleep on a one-stroke lead. Cale Leiviska out to a lead now past the halfway mark of this championship. You got to see this course for the second time. What adjustments did you make, and what worked better this time than it did the last time?
Yeah, gosh, we are already halfway now. We still do got a lot left, but this is the course that I was a little more familiar with because Dave and I played the doubles. We played 2 rounds out here on Saturday, but there's a little less wind today, so scoring was easier. As with yesterday, I didn't feel like I really had my best, but just kind of kept scrapping through. Knew that a lot of the par 4s at the end were pretty easy that I could get birdies on. Yeah, I like this course is good. Thorpe is definitely my favorite, so I'm looking forward to going back there in the woods tomorrow and shredding.
You were very, very close to winning your first major as a qualifier for the Masters division just a couple of months ago. Can you talk about what that did for you in terms of any hunger, in terms of any pressure? What are you feeling related to that performance now that you are in the driver's seat right now in this performance?
You know, the only thing I feel about that is a broken heart when Philo just crushed my soul at Selinsky, but that one still hurts a bit. But no, honestly, just playing in the Masters division is fun. I love playing with these guys that I grew up kind of battling with. I really don't feel too much pressure at all, except what I put on myself, to be honest. I know it's kind of boring, but yeah, I did get second in that one, so I'm hoping to do better at my next major right here.
Made some adjustments when you came to this course for the second time. You go to Thorpe for the second time tomorrow. What adjustments are in store for that second loop around that track?
Yeah, definitely. I got to get my fairway drivers a little more dialed in the woods. My hyzer flip shot was off yesterday, so I know I can do a lot better. Get some more birdie looks early, especially, and then finish hot like I did and shoot a scorcher.
It's just a lead of 1, but Cale Leiviska out in front by himself at Masters Worlds. Cale is very relaxed. He's in control of his game. He currently controls this tournament, but defending champion Joe Rovere may have something to say about that before the week is out. He also had something to say yesterday as he finished round number 3. With Joe Rovere now, Joe, you were on featured card coverage on day number 1, dropped to the chase card on day 2, got yourself back onto the lead card for this day 3. Is playing on the lead card extra motivation for you?
Absolutely, I love it. I know a lot of people don't like the pressure, and I'm the opposite way. I love the pressure. I love the stress. I love the I don't know, I always shoot better when the cameras are on and people are watching, so I really like being on the lead card.
The same question I've asked several others today. You got a second look at this course, made some adjustments, came out firing here. You're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Talk about the second lap around these courses, what it's like, what you learned from days 1 and 2.
So I got here a week early, and I have these courses pretty dialed in. The issue is the wind. If it was a consistent wind, I think you could make some adjustments, but it's really hard when it's kind of swirly and you don't quite know what it's doing. I do know where I want to be, and I know how to, I know my strategy. It's just tricky to have a left, a left-right one day and a right-to-left the next day, and so it's kind of swirling and a little tricky. But I'm confident that I know what to do on the course. I just have to execute.
We're dealing with a little bit of a heat wave for this particular part of Arizona. Is that affecting you and your card mates in any way?
Yeah, we were talking about how hot it is. Everybody's drinking a lot of water. For me, it's just the hands sweating. This is the first time I've ever done this. I took my antiperspirant deodorant stick today and covered my hands. I didn't know what else to do. My hands were sweating like crazy, and it worked. So if you have sweaty hands, antiperspirant, let it sit for a half hour, and then just clean your hands off, and they actually stop sweating. So that was the big thing for me. Other than that, I'm used to the hot, dry from Colorado.
1 out of 1 guys named Joe Rovere recommend the antiperspirant on the hands. Sounds like an endorsement deal in your future.
Old Spice.
Sounds like you're going to be playing from the lead card one more time tomorrow. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, even as a Masters player, Joe Rovere still learning tricks of the trade. Going to the old toiletry bag for a stick of deodorant to rub on his hands, trying to battle the very hot conditions. Sweaty palms out there, not a product of nervousness, a product of the extreme heat here in Flagstaff.
Yeah, and those are some of the tricks that he was looking at. And as we're looking at our leaderboard, I want to look at a few of the numbers. Cale Leiviska, along with Joe Rovere, they have now both played the Little America long course twice. Cale Leiviska has 20 birdies in 36 holes and 0 bogeys. Joe Rovere has 19 birdies in 36 holes and 0 bogeys. So when you start thinking ahead, where are we going to see round number 5 take place? Little America long. Where are we going to see the final 9 take place? At Little America. So these two head-to-head are 1 stroke apart in the tournament, and they've played this course just 1 stroke apart over the 36 holes. Little America is set the stage for these two Titans.
And the issue, of course, still in doubt. In the MP50 division, they were at Thorpe Park for round number 3. Mike Mosier on hole number 4 trying to make a move. The 308-foot par 3. Mike to drop-in distance early in his round. Pretty basic stuff here for Mike Mosier.
That would be his first birdie of the day. Our leader, Chris Smith, started off slow, so Mike trying to take advantage.
Ahead to the steep 404-foot uphill par 4. Mike's approach here, trying to get up the hill from a standstill. Tough to get enough oomph on that shot, so this very awkward elevator putt, no problem for Mike Mosier. 5 down on the day. Moves up to 3rd. He's now just 2 back of the lead, just 1 back of this man, Ron Converse, out of Oklahoma. Comes from the flatlands here to the Flagstaff area, playing in these semi-alpine conditions. Lots of ups and downs here for the players as they deal with now Thorpe Park.
Mike, just the 1 bogey on the day before we head over to take a look at the work by Ron Converse.
We join Ron here on the back 9, the 14th, 258 foot, another steep uphill drive. Perfectly measured there from Ron. Difficult to putt on some of these steep greens. Lots of rollaways certainly possible. It goes to the 17th. This is a 390-foot par 3. Ron Converse in the MP50 division, 390 feet, and he throws this one 390 feet.
To be only 1 of 2 birdies in the entire field for the day. The PDGA's own Steve Boylan is the other birdie.
Converse also 5 down for his round. You get a good look at it there. Just 1 blemish on the scorecard. Converse into second place. Everyone's still chasing Chris Smith, but the gap has narrowed substantially as these players move in now to round number 4.
Yeah, and looking at just that narrow margin between each of those players on our lead card, you know these guys are all veterans of the game. It's going to be exciting to see what they can do in round number 4.
Let's jump ahead a couple of decades to the MP70 division and get a look at that leaderboard, that battle tightly in contention here. David Greenwell, legendary player, out in front over Randy Beers and Dr. Rick Vokes, a multi-time PDGA major champion in his own right. You also see Mark Horn there making up the lead foursome as they head in to round number 4. After round number 3, we caught up with Randy Beers.
All right, catching up with Randy Beers, 2-time major winner. Randy, we're through 3 rounds of this World Championship. How you feeling about your game so far?
I'm feeling pretty good. Having fun, getting to play with a couple of like 26-time world champions. So it's a journey. I keep trying to win this thing.
Yeah, speak a little more on the MP70 division and how competitive it is, this week and pretty much every week.
Very competitive. These 3 guys I'm playing with, Mark and David and Rick, they're always right there. They're always contending. I've been up against them many times. I'm hoping to prevail this time.
What's been the strength of your game so far this week?
I'm driving well. I've been able to drive a little farther than these guys, but they're better putters. So, gonna work on the putting.
All right, back to Little America tomorrow. What's the challenge at that course?
You want to get a good lie, which is not something you can control. All the rocks on the ground, but it's you got to get through the trees and throw accurate, like always, accuracy on the drives, and there's actually a lot of short holes there that you got to make sure you get. So.
Right, you got a few strokes of a lead with
3,
a couple rounds to go.
3.
What's it going to take this down?
Improving my putting and staying positive about the game, right? Just playing the game, stay in the shot.
Thanks, Randy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Wow.
Alan inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
On display here at 2023 Masters Worlds, not only the legendary historical figures on the course, but a lot of history off the course when it comes to flying discs themselves and, of course, all the accessories that go into being a disc golfer. They've been on display all week long, but last night, a very special event for the Flying Disc Museum, some special speakers as well. Check out this highlight. So we have to be quiet. Things already happening this Thursday night at 2023 Masters World. The Flying Disc Museum on display in this very room. Mike Hughes, the force behind it all. Mike, just in some numbers, what is in this room in terms of history?
Well, what we have in here is the first flying discs that were ever produced starting in 1947 up till about a week ago. There are over 1,000 discs that are displayed that range from micro minis about that big all the way up to CPI giant flosser or saucer tosser. So everything anybody would ever want to see, some extraordinarily rare things. There are probably 50 one-of-a-kinds. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people to be able to come in and see these items in the flesh.
Now, some people obviously watching couldn't be here tonight. How do they find out more about the Flying Disc Museum? How do they support the Flying Disc Museum?
Well, what you have to do is just go to flyingdiscmuseum.com. From there, you can explore the entire museum. We have a search button that allows you to input any sort of word, keyword, and it'll take you anywhere you want to go. Keep in mind the museum has much more than flying discs. We've got shirts, we've got a whole ton of print material, we've got bag tags. There's just a lot of things there. It's all related to flying discs. And how you can support us is we need people to help us. All you have to do is take some photographs. So you go online, take a look. It says, how do I be a contributor? Click on that, take a peek, and become part of the community and help us make this thing grow.
Fantastic history. I wish you could see and even touch some of the discs that are in here. It's not a stretch to say some of them are absolutely priceless. We're going to let them get back to the action now. Speaker's already on stage. A lot of rare and priceless artifacts in that room, Terry. If you were told you could go in that room and take one thing off the wall, do you even have an answer?
I would actually double down on that. I would go into the case. They had special cases that had even more valuables. In speaking with Phil Kennedy, myself last night, he pointed me to a specific Frisbee that he said easily eclipses $10,000 in value. That might, and I should even correct myself, it wasn't even called a Frisbee in terms of its authenticity and how old it is. So I was there for all of the presentations. It was so incredible to hear the history of the game, the history of the flying disc, and all the valuables and how we're really looking to preserve it so everyone in the future will have something to look into the past on.
I think I'd like one of those Frisbee pie tins. The original precursor to the Frisbee that I'm sure lots of children early in the last century picked up and flung around the house, much to their mother's dismay. Before we leave the City of Seven Wonders, we'll go around the city and check out the standings in several other divisions. Juliana Corver out in front in the FP50 division by 14. MP55, FP55, MP65 and MP70. Every one of those divisions is either tied or within 2 strokes moving in to this Friday moving day here at 2023 PDGA Worlds. And as you can see there, yesterday's guest, Carlos Rigby, crowned champion in MP80, his 6th PDGA World title.
Yeah, what an incredible story as we heard from them yesterday. I was thinking about the competitiveness between him and his brother and finding that he's maybe had the one advantage here in the world of Frisbee, but if we fast forward a year, I have a feeling his brother Spencer is going to be back, and he's going to probably try to regain some of that dominance that he's had on his brother in previous decades. What an incredible story that they have been. And speaking of those pie tins, maybe I'll have you over for dinner some night. I've got a number of those Frisbee pie tins in my collection. We'll have to bake up a pie and congratulate all of the world champions that we're crowning this week.
Several world champions will be crowned today on Friday in their divisions. The vast majority of those world champions will be crowned tomorrow after a semifinal round in the morning and then a final 9 in the afternoon. Everybody will be here at the Little America property on one of these 2 courses put in by the people here at Little America. And I've got a little bit of Fun Friday news for everybody. I've discovered that these courses here at Little America will be made a permanent fixture here on the property. They won't be immediately available for public play at the conclusion of this event, but if you follow along with their various social media channels and whatnot, you will discover when these courses will become available for you to test your luck here at a course that is challenging some of the best disc golf players in the world. Heading into this Friday moving day, Terry, any final thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you to Little America, as you just mentioned. I feel like that's one of the best parts about World Championships coming to your town or your neighborhood. The economic impact that you can bring into a city or into a general area is incredible. I think back to 2007, the World Championships I hosted in Wisconsin. We were able to get 1.5 new courses put in that were then permanently left in the ground as a result of the World Championship. So when you think about the crowning of the champions and everything else that can be done, the volunteers, the community, all of those participants and everyone involved has something of a legacy even after the Worlds has left. And for me, I think that's as important as crowning our champions as we continue to build disc golf into the future.
A lot of legacies to form or new chapters to be added to those history books starting today and moving, of course, into tomorrow. We've got a lot to go and watch as we monitor things on moving day. So we thank you for joining us here at the 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships. We'll be back tomorrow to preview the final exciting rounds from Flagstaff. For Terry Miller, I'm Grant Zellner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.